Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the February 17th eclipse that we're having in Aquarius, your opposite sign. We are going to start here. Your first row is going to represent what is coming to an end during this eclipse. You have this dignified card, it says strength. You have a square card, it says tension on it. And so you could be, which could be good, is what I'm trying to say. You could be walking away from something that has caused tension or has caused, drama, I'm getting, in your life. I will say that this eclipse is squaring Uranus, which is a little bit sketchy for sure. And, who knows? But what I would say here is that, again, it seems to me like you're releasing some sort of tension in your life or removing yourself from something that has caused you tension for probably a long time. You have the Two of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Devil. The Two of Swords is about being stuck in a stalemate, trying to make a decision. That's kind of all I really feel on that Two of Swords, is that you are, getting out of a situation that has been stuck for a long time. Like I said, it's probably been increasing or creating tension for you in your life. And so she is trying to make a decision between two things, here and here. She's trying to protect her heart, but she has another option behind her. This island behind her kind of represents a third place solution. I always say this is my card of third place solutions. And so she needs to realize that she needs to put those swords down. She has to take her blindfold off and kind of like get over to this island. And it's actually low tide on the card. So she could easily walk over to that island and she could get there. But again, she has to become vulnerable to be able to do that. She has to stop protecting her heart. And again, this card, it doesn't say don't protect your heart. It just says that you have to be vulnerable. And you also have the moon, which says exactly the same thing. We go down to the moon to the Chariot. It's like opening up and being vulnerable is going to be the thing that kind of gives you strength or allows you to accomplish or have a victory or whatever the case may be. So I think a lot of you need to think about that. You have the Queen of Cups. Guess what? She follows her heart with the Queen of Cups, which you fixed signs always get these messages of needing to follow your heart more, needing to listen to that inner voice more, whatever you want to call it. So I think a lot of you are kind of like tapping into that heart space more, or you need to. The blindfold in the tarot, the Two of Swords, she has that blindfold on. It represents needing to listen to your intuition, the blindfolds. The Queen of Cups definitely listens to her intuition. She listens to her inner guidance system. And so a lot of you might need to take some time to trust that inner voice or trust what is being said to you. It's like I do think that for some of you, it's like, Neptune and Pisces can be like rose-colored glasses. We can idealize things with Neptune and Pisces. Obviously, Neptune is now in Aries, but, I'm just saying, we had Neptune and Pisces for a very long period of time. And it is like popping into my head that this first row could be talking about you being honest about something in your life with yourself. It's like you don't have to be honest with anyone other than yourself, right? And so if there is a situation in your life that is less than ideal, that could be the situation that's coming to an end. It's like you're taking the rose-colored glasses off and you're seeing something for how it actually is. I do feel good about this, Leo. You also have the Devil, which, again, the Devil can represent needing to remove yourself from a toxic situation. Again, the Devil doesn't really ever have to be a big deal. The Devil can just be an energy vampire in your life. An energy vampire could be anything, anything that sucks the life out of you. Could be a job, a person, a business, an idea, some sort of routine that you have, or a group of people that you hang out with. And the Devil is about walking away from those things. These people, those chains around their necks hang down very, very low. The whole point of the Devil is they could easily take those chains off from around their necks and they could set themselves free. So the Devil really wants you to look at those situations or those patterns, those toxic patterns in your life, and it wants you to separate yourself away from those things. But luckily, it's coming up in the area of what is coming to an end. So it looks to me like you are bringing an end to something that is not ideal. With the Two of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it's almost like this part of the reading is asking you to get uncomfortable. Again, we're not talking about uncomfortable in a bad way. We're talking about uncomfortable in a good way. Four of Pentacles. He's holding on too tightly to what has been. He has his city behind him here. Again, we go down to the Chariot. The Chariot is charging away from the city. He knows that everything is the same in the city. So, these cards, the whole setup here could be saying that you know what you're going to get in life where you are right now. And the Four of Pentacles is saying, what would happen if you got on a bus, a plane, a train, used your own two legs to, go take a walk and go on an adventure and see what the world has to offer? I feel like that's what the reading is asking. It's like saying, hey, it's a big, giant world out there. It has a lot to offer. Maybe you need to go explore. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, I think it's an amazing time for you to show off. Again, this is the first eclipse in the Aquarius-Leo eclipse cycle that is starting right now, obviously. And so we are going to have future eclipses in Leo and Aquarius. And, for you, it could be about showing off. What I've said to others is that this first eclipse in Aquarius, I think, is about creating space for something bigger in life. And so a lot of you might be creating, literally. I literally just feel creation on this Three of Pentacles. He has created these three pentacles here, this design, and he's getting credit for the work he has done. So it is a card of like showing off, getting attention, putting your work out into the world. But your work could just be the work you've done on yourself and needing to live your life that way. And so I think it's a great time to show off. With the Devil, you have the Temperance card. I kind of get like, what are you waiting for vibes here, Leo? Sometimes I feel like the Temperance card, the Temperance angel is trying to be too perfect. He's trying to turn water into wine. This right here is the path to glory. He could easily just step off on that path and go claim his crown. I mean, I don't know. I think I said this to you a lot in 2025, that it's time to claim your crown. You are a Leo. You are the king, right? And it's time to claim your crown here, Leo, is what this reading is saying. It's like there's clearly things that you want, and it's like no one is going to make it happen for you. And yeah, maybe the environment you're in needs to change. Four of Pentacles, Chariot, and maybe with the Moon, in between those two cards, you're not sure how to change the environment, but the answers will come to you on the journey by getting out into this big, beautiful world that we have, right? And so that's what I would encourage you to do there. Next, we're going to look at anything unexpected that could be coming in for you. Again, eclipses are already unexpected, but this one is squaring Uranus, which makes it even more unexpected. So you have this full moon, it says conclusions are within reach. You have this third quarter moon, it says adjustments are required. Yes. That is the Temperance card. Again, the Temperance card, it's like you're not going to get answers until you get started. And you're going to have to make adjustments along the way. I've said to people before that the start of Pluto, we had Pluto move into Aquarius at the end of 2024. And now Pluto is really kind of getting going this year because last year in May, Pluto between May and October or whatever, it basically retrograded to like the beginning of Aquarius. So, this is like the first year, you could say, where things are really going to get going with Pluto and Aquarius. And Pluto and Aquarius is iteration. We have to start, then we have to mold something. It's like building a statue or, working with clay. It's like the first, as you start working, it's not going to be perfect, right? You have to like shape it into place. So whatever you're creating, whatever life you desire, it's going to be a process of iteration where you're going to have to like move forward, make some adjustments, move on to the next step. But if you don't get started, you're not going to get the feedback to make the adjustments in the first place, right? So it's time to move. You have the Knight of Swords, the Moon, and the Five of Cups. I actually feel pretty good about the Knight of Swords, so normally I'm not the biggest fan of the Knight of Swords, especially for you, Leo, because you get the Knight of Swords with me a lot. And the Knight of Swords is a card of jumping to conclusions. It can be running away from the next card, which in this case is the Fool. On the table, he's running to the past. So, the Knight of Swords, sometimes I think he gets to the next card and he gets scared and he runs away. But I actually feel pretty good about it for you, just intuitively. I feel like you are kind of ready to charge forward, or you're about to charge forward. Again, this could be unexpected for the people in your life. I don't really feel anything unexpected for you. Again, I don't try to make readings fit if they don't. So yeah, this row is supposed to represent the unexpected. I don't see anything unexpected here yet. That could change when we clarify, but you could be surprising people in your life for sure. You have the Moon. I think this is what you have to like get over, is that in-between time. The Moon to me is kind of like purgatory. The Moon, it's not really bad. It can represent illusions, fears, fantasies, things like that. It's not really bad. It's not really good. It's kind of just like an in-between time. The Moon is specifically a temporary card. It is a card that is meant to represent a temporary period of time. It's part of the Fool's journey. He has to get from here to these mountains. We have this lobster right here. As I was saying, the lobster represents needing to release your emotional armor and so that you can move forward on the land. Lobsters don't do very well on the land. So this is a card of needing to be willing to be vulnerable and needing to be open enough to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Anytime we do anything in life, we're being vulnerable. There's potential that something won't work. There's potential that our feelings could get hurt. There's a potential that this, that, and the other thing could happen. And that's like the part of it that we have to kind of get over. The other thing about the moon, we have this dog and the wolf, dog and coyote, whichever you prefer, and it kind of represents our domestic side and our wild side. I do feel this is encouraging you to be a little bit more wild because of the whole iteration thing. It's like being willing to experiment more, being willing to try your crazy ideas more, things like that. That is what is going to lead to success. Look at the thumbnail on this video, right? It's like, I'm just trying all sorts of crazy ideas. Does it piss some people off? Yeah. But do I care? No, the Karens they can see themselves out, right? There's a little X right here. If you are a miserable person who wants to suck the joy out of the world, click the X, wherever it is. I'm not sure, right? So again, we need to take these risks, and that's what I would do. You have the Five of Cups. Everybody has had the Five of Cups for whatever reason, and I think that we are, number one, in all the 2026 readings, they were all about expressing gratitude and practicing gratitude. So I think that 2026, the key word of the year is gratitude. The solution to the Five of Cups is gratitude. If he's grateful for these two cups, he gets this bridge and this castle over here. It's almost like we really need to believe that no matter what, things are happening for us, not to us. It's like I do think the universe is kind of like on our side, but we have to believe it. We have to practice gratitude. We are also in a new world. Like I've been talking about this for years. A lot of great teachers talk about the splitting of the earths. I think we're already in the new world. I think we have been for a long time. But it's like what we're feeling is empty space, and it's being filled with really bad ideas right now. And so I think that it's time for the people to take their power back and start creating good things on earth, basically. And if we do that, we'll fill it with our good ideas instead of the bad ideas of, evil Bill Gates or whoever else is trying to kill us right now, probably all of them. And if we do that, good things will happen. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Devil. So again, two devils in this reading. The Devil is definitely about needing to leave behind those toxic things in your life or needing to separate away from things that are causing problems in your life in the first place. So that's what I would do with the Devil just in general. The other thing about the Devil is like removing control. If there are things that are controlling you, these people are being controlled by the devil. This is the black box of Saturn that the devil is sitting on. And I could go on and on and on about the black box of Saturn. But, what I will say here is it's like if there's anything that is controlling you or controlling your life, it might be a good time to take a hard look at that and see what it is. Could even be a personal feeling. It could be your mindset. It could be anything. But anything that kind of like steals your energy, I would correct it. With the Moon, you have the Page of Swords, curiosity for sure. I actually feel pretty good about this because the Fool has to be curious enough to go on the journey of the Moon. He has to stay focused. We have these two pillars on the Moon. Those two pillars are a distraction to the Fool. They're a distraction, but they also tell him, stay on the path, right? The Moon, sometimes I feel those two pillars basically say, it's like where you start working on something, then you get another idea, and you move sideways, right? You focus on another idea, and then another idea, and then another idea. The problem with getting distracted with the Moon is we're always moving sideways to the mountains, and the mountains are never ending on the Moon. So it's like you're never climbing the mountain, you're always moving sideways. And I think that curiosity will help you by getting curious, by learning about whatever you're trying to accomplish at this time. It will get you over the mountains, and that's what needs to happen. With the Five of Cups, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is like knowledge and wisdom. I do think it would be a good time for you to like find mentors here, Leo. I think it would be a really good time to explore as well, like I said. I think that, you end with the Ten of Pentacles, but the message I'm getting here, Ten of Pentacles, King of Swords, is that it's like you're doing the right things in life, whether you realize it or not. But it's like maybe your approach needs to change, or maybe it's like maybe your skills could be used in other ways, but it's going to take like a person or an inspiration or, some information from a mentor to help you see that you can use your skills, talents, gifts, skills, and abilities in another way. I feel like I've said this to you before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've said to you, it's like, I've said this to you before. It's like, I think Leo has something that they, like a skill or a business already or something that could be applied to something much bigger. Like I keep getting that for you, Leo. And obviously I don't know what all of you do, but it's definitely something I would spend some time thinking about because, it's like your skills could probably be used for something much bigger. It kind of reminds me, it's like there was that artist, there's an artist, I can't remember his name. I think it's like Steve something or something like that. But he was an artist who drew a mural for Facebook, right, at their office. And he got stock options and now he's like a freaking billionaire for just doing one piece of art, right? It's like, there are a billion struggling artists and then there's that guy. It's like he took his skill and he made it bigger. That's what needs to happen here. What are we doing? Next, we're going to look at your new direction. You have this drawing down the moon. It says knowledge on it. You have this moonlight. It says enchanted. Right. Again, that artist, he made his work enchanted. He made it magical. He turned it into something more. And I think you have the knowledge to do that with your skills here, Leo. But it's just about like transforming those skills. You have the temperance card. Temperance is alchemy, turning one thing into another, turning, lead into gold, right? And I think that's what you need to do here. You have the Fool, the Six of Swords, and the Chariot, definitely charging in a new direction. Again, the whole point of this row is what is your new direction? And clearly, you're about to, or you are being asked to take a leap of faith towards something new here, Leo, and I definitely would. This is probably something you've been thinking about for a long time. He has these ice-capped mountains behind him on the Fool. I don't always feel this on the Fool, but sometimes. Sometimes I think the ice-capped mountains say that whoever I'm reading for has been stuck, for a while, and now you could finally be taking a leap of faith. I think your intentions are going to be important as well. We have this white rose right here. And the white rose represents pure intentions. And again, I have been getting this message a lot in this set of readings that like the reason we're doing something is very important at this time for whatever reason. I don't know. But, for whatever reason, I think we really need to think about like why we are doing something. If we're doing something for the right reasons, I think things will go very, very well. If we're doing things because of some other reasons, for bad reasons, then things will not go very well. And I think that's, we need to have good intentions. Leo, also make sure to leave a comment, really helps me out. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. And so I do think that there could be a lot of improvements in you leaving a comfort zone with the Four of Pentacles and the Chariot and the Moon. These people are just moving on to calmer shores. This person represents a guide. I definitely feel there's either a person or, a situation that has information for you that would greatly improve your life because we go King of Swords, Six of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. We'll talk about this more in a minute. But the Ten of Pentacles can represent hidden or secret information. And it doesn't really mean that it's hidden or secret. It just means you have to look for it, right? And so we'll talk about that more in a second. You have the Chariot, which is like charging forward towards a victory. Again, he's leaving the city behind him behind. He's leaving the familiar. The city represents something where everything is the same every single day. He knows what he's going to get. But that can get a little bit boring. So now he is allowing the universe, these two sphinxes represent the mysteries of the universe, to guide him towards a better direction, hopefully towards his Ten of Pentacles, maybe. Maybe he's going to build his own kingdom. Maybe he's going to build his own city where he's the boss, right? And I think a lot of you are being asked to do that here, Leo. With the Fool, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is where you are right now, is it worth it or not? And I can't answer that question for you. Only you can answer that question. So he's looking at what he has been getting for the work that he's been doing in life, and he's saying, is it worth it or not? And I would say probably not. You probably want a lot more out of life with that Ten of Pentacles. With the Six of Swords, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Definitely time to move forward. Knight of Pentacles, he has this blank canvas behind him. He has these empty fields behind him. All he needs to do is plant seeds in that field and they will grow. So you probably already are looking at a blank canvas or something you could create or work on, and it's just time to get to work. With the Chariot, you have the Judgment card. Yeah, Judgment can be a wake-up call. I feel pretty good about this. This is like, sudden information. I think that for you, it's about finding a mentor. Again, that it could be someone who's dead. It's like you can. There are dead people I watch all the time on YouTube, right? That I would consider a mentor. You can read their books. You can do whatever. And so I think that the Judgment card, this is your higher self angel. The higher self angel is calling these people out of their past life into their new life. So they're being asked to have a rebirth. But again, I think this could be information from a person that really sets you free. Next, we're going to look at what you need to lean into at this time. You have the schedule card. It says, most forms of prosperity require time and effort to manifest. Do you have room in your schedule for the abundance you're wanting to attract? Maybe you need to look at that. You have this diplomat card. It says, with your uncanny ability to form connections with human relationships, you serve as a bridge between worlds. There you go. Damn. Leo, love it. Definitely time to look at your schedule. I would make sure with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like, are you filling your day with busy work, or are you doing things that are important? And again, I don't think we have to be perfect at this time. I just think we have to look at what we're doing and try to make it just a little bit more perfect. And if we do that, good things will happen. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. Ten of Pentacles is amazing here, Leo. It's everything you want and desire. It is about building, leaving a legacy. But there are two ways to read this card. Number one, we have this family on the card. So the Ten of Pentacles can represent an inheritance. And this old man is kind of the part of the card that represents receiving an inheritance or something like that. The alternative meaning to the Ten of Pentacles is that this man here is a beggar. And he's coming and he's bringing this family a gift. And he represents a person who has nothing to give, who is giving something to the family. And so it really kind of represents hidden or secret information. It says that you could be receiving information from an unlikely source. So like reading a book or watching a TV show or something. It's like you never know where you're going to get your answers. But I do feel like that this could be a mentor or something like that that really helps you. But definitely very good for money, Leo. You have the Two of Cups. These readings have been full of love. Yours isn't as much as most people. Like everybody else had a ton of love in their readings. You have a little bit with the Two of Cups here. Two of Cups can be a perfect match. It can be a person who's different than your usual type. But again, this eclipse is conjunct Venus. And eclipses are kind of like fate. So, there could be a fated connection coming in for you if you are looking for love with the Two of Cups. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but again, as I always say, Seven of Swords is really a good card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. He is sneaking away from this army with these swords, so he is avoiding war. And I think it's an amazing time to avoid war. I think it's an amazing time to find better ways of doing everything that you're doing, and through research or through asking mentors for help or researching mentors or whatever. That could be a better way to accomplish something. He also has these polka dots on his cloak. And again, and you have polka dots on the Three of Pentacles here as well. Polka dots in the tarot represent taking something too seriously. There's been a collective message of needing to not push, needing to not push things away. And when we take something too seriously, we're pushing, right? So I think, looking at something as fun, looking at it as an experience, looking at it as I'm just going to enjoy this experience, whatever it is, could be love, could be business, could be whatever. That is the way to do it. Sure, we'll take both. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Cups. There you go. So I love the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles together because it kind of represents fortune after difficulty, good things happening after a difficult period of time. Also really good for love. You have the King and Queen of Swords, which is kind of funny because, again, if you're interested in a person you haven't talked to yet, or if maybe a person's interested in you that hasn't talked to you, it's like something needs to happen here. You do have the Two of Cups, which is communication. With the Two of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about resourcefulness. Yeah, it's like, maybe it would be a good if you are getting into a connection anytime. By the way, eclipses can last for 6 months, right? So the energy lasts for 6 months at least. And, what I would say here is if you are getting into anything over the next 6 months, it might be better for you to look at how much you're giving and, allow the other person to give as well. It's kind of about receiving. And Queen of Pentacles is about being resourceful as well. So you have that card that said schedule on it. And it's maybe you need to look at your resources, your energy, your time, your effort, your attention, and make sure you're giving to the right things. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Hermit. Yeah, I think everybody needs to get out of Hermit mode. We're in a very bold time. You know, we in some ways we have to be loud. We have Saturn and Aries, which I think is, you know, we have to be loud. We have to be bold. We have to, you know, really try to get attention. We want to do this in a positive way, of course, right? We don't want to be doing things that are negative, but, you know, I think the Hermit is saying it's time to be loud, Leo. We're going to pull 5 main themes from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. You have this romance card, so yes, definitely could be a solid connection coming in for those of you that want it. You have this flattery card. I think there could be a much better connection coming in for you. These two faces are facing away from each other. These two faces are facing towards each other. It's like you could be attracting something that you're like much more in alignment with for those of you that are looking for a connection. So that's nice. Here you go. You have this seduction card. So you are getting as much love as everybody else. Definitely could be a very seductive connection coming in for you. So yeah, love looks pretty good. You have this egotism card. Yeah, I would be careful of ego, people with ego, people who are cocky, things like that. I would just be careful of it. And finally, you have this bluff card. We said something about the Knight of Swords, about you maybe surprising people with the moves that you're making. This is a card of calling people's bluffs. It's like doing something that people don't expect you to do. So, like I said, on the Knight of Swords, I think you could be doing things that... It's like there is nothing unexpected for you, I don't think, really. I think you are creating the unexpected, and if that makes sense. So... there you go, Leo. I love it. Looks pretty good. So thank you for being here. Make sure to like, leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your month.